Hello, today we will tell you what the CargoTetris software is and what it's used for, and we'll show you how it works. In general, the program is designed for logisticians, storekeepers, loaders, drivers, logistics managers, and all those involved in planning the loading of vehicles. The program helps to semi-automatically distribute cargo based on their characteristics in relation to both the cargo and the vehicles, which will help you save time on planning and increase the efficiency of loading vehicles for disposal. First, you need to go to the website CargoTetris.com, register, and then log into the system. Once you log into the system, you'll see the program interface, which has three main sections. This is the project section, where you create projects and perform all calculations within them. The section with vehicles which are available as standard for calculations, and you can also create your own. Well, what a section. With a load database, you can save your loads to use as repeats in your projects. Let's go through one of the examples. Create a project, and I'll show you what each button does. So to start, in order to calculate something, we need to click on the button Create Project and enter its name. And the system will open the internal project interface for us. Here, you can move through the steps. In the first step, you add information about your cargo. In the second step, you choose the vehicle needed for planning the loading. And in the third step, you perform the calculation and get the result. Let's do a simple calculation. To add cargo, here we need to click on the plus add button. This creates a group with the cargo, within which you can add several items. Naturally, the system won't let you go to the next step as long as you haven't filled in the information about the cargo you've added. Let's enter a few cargo items for the sake of example. For example, a few cargo items. Let's say some standard boxes weighing 5 kg. Let us have them, several different ones. Here we have added with you 3 different boxes. To move on to the next step, you need to click Save and Continue. And then select the required type of vehicle in the system. In the current system, there are 4 types. These are light trucks, Euro trucks, containers, and pallets. You can choose several types at once within a single calculation. You can mix them together or count them as one or several. Let's add the most popular option. A 22-ton truck. After selecting it, we can see the characteristics of the chosen vehicle. We can view them from here, but we can't change them from here. To make changes, we need to go to the section with cargo spaces and change their characteristics from there. Let's try to calculate something. Before starting the calculation, we see a summary of information about which vehicle we are using and what cargo we plan to place. There are also additional parameters here. You can understand how they work by experimenting with them. Let's do it. The very first calculations are done quite quickly, and the complexity and duration of the calculation depend on its difficulty. So after that, the system will calculate. We see a 3D render that we can interact with. Look at each object, its additional characteristics, more detailed ones, and also see a summary of the vehicle's statistics. So here we have information on the load for each axle, the vehicle's center of gravity coordinates, and overall summary information on the cargo load, meaning the weight and the occupied volume in cubic meters. Also here in this panel, we can look at the loading by steps, meaning we can literally switch between the loading steps to see the order in which to load the vehicle. And also, if suddenly we need to edit this scene, we have some preferences for loading the vehicle. In the settings, you can enable the cargo transfer system and already move the cargo around, placing it in the order we see fit. So, for example, right now I'm changing a few cargo items, or rather, I'm changing their positions. And in order to save, I need to click on Recalculate for the edited scene. After waiting a bit, the system gives us the result. Rather, it saves our changes that we just made manually and records them in the history of our project. As you can see, we just ran two calculations here. One was automatic and the other was manual. To see them, we can click on View and go back to each calculation. Already, with my manual changes. To take a look, we can click on View and go back to each calculation. So, let's talk about how CargoTetris can help your business. Naturally, you can start saving with our software. It's all because you'll be able to plan the loading of your vehicles much faster. In addition to that, the system allows you to improve the implementation of loading planning. That means you can literally pack more goods into a single transport unit. If you need even more automation, you can integrate our software with your accounting systems so that all the data that you have them in your accounting systems come directly to ours and get back the result in the form of a 3D render or report. There's also a step-by-step loading scheme that reduces reliance on the skills of your loaders. Let me tell you about a few case studies of our systems application in different companies. One of the companies improved its vehicle disposal efficiency by 8%, so they literally started loading their vehicles with 8% more cargo, which significantly saves on their overall financial expenses. In addition, the management team increased the speed of processing logistics requests by 4 times. This also helped save some resources. Another company integrated our service into their wholesale online store. They deal with the shipment of construction goods, and at the moment when the customer adds items to their shopping cart, the system calculates the loading of the selected vehicle in real time. If there is any free time left, she offers some additional goods to fill the car, or it signals that the current machine may not be enough and he should pick up another one of the same kind or redistribute the load onto smaller machines. Another company increased its efficiency by creating a picker assistant based on our solution. This is a retailer that supplies products to retail chains, and a picker, especially a new one, often makes mistakes when assembling a mixed pallet, takes a long time to do it, and sometimes damages the products. To prevent this from happening, the system assists him during the assembly process. And while the picker is walking to a certain location in the warehouse to pick a certain number of boxes, the system shows him on the tablet in a visual format how many boxes to pick and where to place them. There's no need to think, the system does that for him.